is equals to the cot of x, where x is a real number. It has a period of 180 degrees or pi radians. It has a vertical asymptote at all the values of x for which the tangent of x was 0. For example, tan 360 negative, let's talk about something like this. That is minus 90 minus 180 minus 270 minus 360, and then 90 degrees, 180, 270, and 360 degrees. The tangent of negative 360 was 0. The tangent, because this is y is equals to 1 over the tangent of x. If the tangent of negative 360 was 0, then we can be preparing for an asymptote there. The tangent of negative 180, let's talk about negative 180. The tangent of negative 180 was 0, then you can prepare for an asymptote there. Of course, the tangent of 0 was 0. There's another asymptote there. The tangent of 180, the tangent of 180 degrees was 0. You can prepare for another asymptote there. And of course, the tangent of 360 degrees, you can prepare for an asymptote there. So what happens now at that particular point, it is important to note that the tangent of something slightly to the right of negative 360, for example 359, the tangent of negative 359 is a very small, positive number, meaning that it's going to be 1 over a very small positive number is going to be a very big positive number. But this particular point that we must take care of. What was originally the tangent of 270? The tangent of 270 was not defined. It was infinity. So 1 over infinity, 1 divided by a very big number, obviously it approaches to 0. So we're going to have something that looks like, we're going to have the y is equals to cot x, when x is negative 270, 1 over a very, very big number, 1 divided by infinity, of course, that is approaching 0, so that we have something. But it is this particular point that we must take care of. What about negative 181? The tangent of negative 181 is the tangent of negative 181 is a very, very small negative number, such that 1 divided by a very small negative number gives you a big negative number. So basically our graph of y is equals to cot x or cotangent x is going to look like something like that. But let us just jump to the right and have negative 179. What about the tangent of negative 179? You will see that is a very small positive number, 1 divided by a very small positive number, which is actually 0.0174. 1 divided by that small positive number is a big positive number. But of course, originally the tangent of 90 was again not defined. So the y is equals to cot 90 is again 1 divided by a very big number whose answer is approaching 0. So we are there. Definitely we are going to look like something, our graph is going to appear like something like that. But it is probably, let's talk about this particular point, negative 1. The tangent of negative 1, it is a very small negative number, which is negative 0.017. 1 over that is a very big negative number again. So basically, we are going to talk about a pattern continues to repeat itself that way, and of course a pattern continues to repeat itself that way, and it is this particular graph that represents the graph of y is equals to the cotangent of theta. What are its details? The domain of this one, is of course the domain of y is equals to Cotx is where x is a real number, is actually any real number because it can assume every value, negative infinity, positive infinity. But in radians, the domain is any real number again. And of course, x is not going to be 0. X is not going to be 0. X is not going to be 180. X is not going to be 360. A multiple of 180 starting 0 to the left and even to the right, because at that particular point, there is no specific value of y. Of course, the range of y, is y is equals to any real number, because as you can see, it can assume negative infinity to positive infinity, and therefore, even if you're talking about the range, either the domain, the range is going to be any real number. It can assume all values of y. But of course, the domain, it is a real number apart from negative 360. X is not equals to 0, as you can see. X is not equals to 180 degrees because we do not have any value of y for positive 180 degrees. We don't even have x is not supposed to be equals to 360 degrees. X is not even supposed to be negative 180 degrees. It's not supposed to be equals to negative 180. X is not even supposed to be equals to negative 360 degrees. All these are domains, the domains that are not valid. All the others are valid. But as far as the range is concerned, that means the value of y, it can assume any real number. You can see y stretches from 0 towards infinity, and then from 0 towards negative infinity. So it can assume any real value. So y is any real number. All right?